So I was at Anchor Electronics today, and I saw some boards that were just kind of in the used pile, kind of junk pile. And I got this one, and I don't quite know what to make of it. It's about 5 inches by 5 inches. It says X-ray on it, which is kind of interesting, and it's got some pretty strange circuits in it. So we'll go through those, but yeah, it looks like it's got SMA connectors. It looks like it's got some electro-optics on it. It looks like it's got some RF things on it. Yeah, it looks really really weird. So yeah, let's put it under the under my microscope here, and we'll kind of run through it. So let's see here. Where do we start? I think things kind of come in here. Here's some like digital control lines coming in, and I believe power comes in here. All right, I'm not quite turn around here so we can read the part numbers. I'm not quite sure what those things are. OPA. So this is some kind of fancy op amp, it would seem, and DS75. I think that is maybe just a line driver or something. I'm not quite sure about that. Anyway, let's go through it here. There's a big, I don't know, is that a 100 ohm resistor? What is that? Oh, L1. No, it's an inductor. So they're filtering some input power or something through a big inductor here. All right, so there's this little section over here that has a quad op amp. I think that's a quad. Maybe it's a dual. Anyway, I believe that's an 8 megahertz 8 megahertz part. It's got a adjustment on it, so I don't know if this is an oscillator or it just has some gain that needs to be set or whatever. It's connected to some optoelectronic thing. So this little section over here looks to be like a photocell, a real simple photocell. I don't know what kind of cell that is though. It's black. Maybe it's some other kind of cell, but there's two of them back to back. One points to the other side, which is covered by this thing, and then one points to this window. So it might be in a balanced bridge or something, and they needed two of them. I really don't know what's going on there. And then this little guy here is a photodiode, a real nice one, and it's very very small. I'll put this under my other microscope and take some nice pictures of it. But yeah, I don't quite know what's going on there. And this one goes into this. This is a transformer, an RF transformer. So I don't know much about this thing. I'm thinking that maybe these are used as X-ray sensors. If it says X-ray on the board, maybe this is an X-ray sensor. Maybe this is an optical sensor. I don't know. It's really really weird. And it comes over. There's a connector here that says 80 megahertz, and one that says 40 megahertz. I don't know what that's all about. That's interesting. All right, so there are some associated with maybe these guys or something. There are some super fast op amps. Those are like 750 megahertz op amps. Yeah, 750 megahertz op amps. That's a fast op amp. Might be worth removing those from the board and doing something with them. Now, okay, it gets weirder. I trust you. It gets weirder. Comes over here. There's another transformer for this 40 megahertz input, either input or output. I have to believe this is an input, and I have to believe this is an input. And then I think there's like some signal that comes out of this thing at high speed, because remember, these are super high speed. And I think it kind of gets all added together, and then it comes over into this thing. Now, this is the weirdest thing I've seen in a long time. It is inductor, 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 inductor. So 8 inductors all in a series. But between each inductor, you thought, oh, we'll put a capacitor to ground. No, they put in a diode ground. They put a clipping diode to ground in between each of these series inductors. I don't know. I've never seen that circuit before. I have no idea what that circuit does. Some weird clipping circuit, some weird shaping circuit. Uh, are they using the diodes as some type of capacitor? Are they? I don't know. Are they capacitive voltage capacitive diode? I don't know. Anyway, so whatever signal comes from over here goes through this filter. I'll call it a filter, and then it goes over here to now microwave stuff. It looks like we have a looks like a amplifier here. So this comes over to here and goes into this little guy. So he's like the pre-driver or a switch. He might be either a pre-driver or a analog switch. And I haven't looked him up. Something else over here I'm not sure of. But then it goes into this amplifier. It's mimic amplifier. So obviously this is the output because it has a big fat tab on it. So it comes in here, it gets amplified. Then it goes through a filter. So this is a 45 megahertz filter. So whatever this is doing, it's below 45 megahertz. And then it comes out to the mode locker. Yeah, that's the output to the mode locker. What's a mode locker? I don't know what that is. Yeah, I. This is the weirdest thing I've seen. This is definitely one of the weirdest circuits I've seen. So please chime down below. I would love to know what this thing is. It is really weird. Like again, here's the part number. Spar, is that the name of a company? Spar? I don't know. There's a barcode reader there. Q code. X-ray. FP. And then somebody tested it in 2014. Yeah, wow. This one's got me stumped. It's really cool though, huh? It's got all kinds of stuff in it. Fast op amps, weird sensors that I'm not quite sure what they do. Super fast op amps. Yeah, HF filters. Weird. One of these is a 50 ohm transformer, and one of them is a 75 ohm transformer. So go figure why they needed to be so specific between those two. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is just a 7400, an AC 7400. So that's kind of interesting. There's a few bodge wires on it, so they didn't want to relay out the board. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.